So welcome everyone to Midweek Mindfulness. It's good to be here with all of you. I hope your week has been going well. We had a lovely visit to Pennsylvania this weekend with my mom and my sister. Everyone was tested and safe and secure, so it was a nice chance to meet with them. And we picked up my mom and brought her south. My aunt just went through a double mastectomy for her third bout with cancer. So a neat opportunity for my mom to really be there for her as she goes through this significant change of life. But I hope everybody had a nice long weekend and are back and things are flowing for you as you re-enter the bustle of everyday life. So thinking about where we've been and where we're going, I thought today what we would do is kind of really re-explore this idea of our thoughts and try a new technique out today. It's a mindfulness technique. It's about growing your ability to be mindful. One of the neat things about it is that it teaches us how to really be aware of what we're experiencing in the moment, mentally and emotionally. And so that's kind of the power of the tool. It's a kind of a very interesting practice. And it's like everything else, it's very simple, even though practicing it may be challenging from time to time. So I'll describe it and then we'll practice it. But what we're going to do is we're going to drop into our breath, down into our body as we do each week, right? Just stay really focused on our breath and start to settle down into this place, into this moment. Recognizing that our thoughts don't stop, right? The thoughts are like a rushing river. They just keep on flowing. But what we're looking to do is with our mindfulness and our meditation is to throw that rope ladder up on the side of the bank so we can climb up out and kind of watch them go by, so to speak. Not avoiding them or not experiencing them, but also being able to observe them. So we aren't lost in the raging river. We are able to observe it as it is continuing on its way. And so to that extent, what we're going to do today is we're going to sit and we're going to watch and we're just going to see what comes up. And the practice is you watch the thought that comes up, which we've done before, right? And sometimes we label that thinking, and then we let it flow downstream and we come back to the breath, back to the present moment. Or maybe we look at the emotion that comes up and supports that thought, right? And we go, oh, so this is what we're feeling as well as this is what we're thinking. And then we label them thought, thinking, feeling, and we let them flow downstream and we come back to our breath. And that's the initial practice, right? That's the first practice, is coming back, until we start to have some semblance of that really gentle mental discipline, not couched in judgment, like I'm doing this wrong, right? Our minds are active in different ways at different times in our life. If you're doing it, you're not doing it wrong, you're doing it, right? So watching that and letting it go downstream and coming back to the breath, back to the self. What we're going to do today is, as the thought or as the feeling comes up, what we want to do is we want to watch it, right? Very non-judgmentally. We're not evaluating, is it a good thought or a bad thought? We're not evaluating, should I be having this thought right now? Should I even be having thoughts, right? It's nothing to do with that, right? So when thoughts come up, as they do, we simply take a look at it and we say, okay, so how strong is this thought and how long does it last, right? And by strong, I mean, how strongly do we feel it, right? How active is it, right? Is it a really powerful thought that's really tugging our attention, or is it just something that's kind of flitting by, right? Once again, no judgment for either of those, right? Everybody has all those thoughts. Those are normal things. But as we notice it and we notice its strength and we notice its duration over time, continuing this practice, it allows us to really understand which thoughts and feelings affect us the most. So we can be mindful that as they begin to rise up, as they begin to come up within us, right? That we can give them a different level of awareness as is required to allow them to be fully experienced and then to let them continue to flow on by. Because as we know, we're not our thoughts and we're not our feelings. Those are just aspects of being alive, parts of our expression of engaging with our environment that are very helpful and very meaningful, but they're not us, right? We're something beyond that. So go ahead and get settled into your meditation position. Spine, right? Nice and straight, head balanced on top if that's at all possible. If you're one of those folks that struggle to sit up and for whatever reason, whether it's pain or whatever, that's okay. Find a little more relaxing position, maybe reclining a little, maybe even lying down, whatever feels best for you. The key is for you to decide, right, what is going to be best for you. And all we're looking for is to be relaxed and alert. That's all we're looking for. So whatever it feels like to you to manage yourself physically around that is what is most appropriate. So I'll invite you to, if you're comfortable, close your eyes. And if not, just pick out a spot, maybe somewhere on the wall or somewhere out in front of you where you can let your gaze just soften and start to settle into your body, settle into the moment, and settle into the practice. And I'm going to go ahead and invite the bell to begin our meditation. So I invite you to begin by noticing your breath. Not controlling it in any way, but just simply observing it. Maybe noticing today, here, now, in this moment, where you feel it most easily. Might be the tip of the nose or the back of the throat. Could be the rise and the fall of the abdomen or the chest. Could even be maybe the sensation that runs through your body or your head as you continue to breathe, whatever that feels like for you. Just whatever you notice in this moment. Just begin to notice that you're breathing. Now begin to notice your body and how it's responding to sitting quietly and noticing your breathing. Not bringing any judgment to it, just noticing what's happening. Is there a relaxation? Is there pain, discomfort, curiosity, whatever it happens to be? Just connecting with our bodies as we feel the movement of the breath. And honoring whatever our body chooses for our breath in this moment. It might be deep breaths or shallow breaths or any combination therein. Just trusting the millions of years of evolution that can come into this thing we call breathing. And bringing our awareness to it. And when thoughts or feelings begin to arise, we want to notice them. As we notice them, we want to notice how long they last and how strong they feel. Again, not bringing any judgment to that. There's no right or wrong way to have thoughts and feelings. We just have our thoughts and feelings, and we're just going to notice them. Do they repeat? How long does each individual thought last? Is there a feeling that supports it? How long does that feeling last? How strong is it? Is it a strong sensation? Is it a mild one? Again, not determining if there's a right or wrong involved here, but just noticing what's actually happening. And then as the thought and the feeling begins to complete itself and to pass on through, go ahead and let it pass and come back to the breath. Back to the breath until the next thought arises. And if an individual thought begins to turn into a story, notice that too. Notice how it progresses from one thought to the next and then to the next. Seeing if you can stay aware throughout that time frame, noticing each individual thought and the feelings that support them. Noticing how strong they are. And if they begin to connect to a second thought, that's okay. Notice the second thought. Notice how strong it is. And when it finally completes, see if you can come back to your breath. And as you come back to your breath, really coming back, feeling the movement, the expansion of the diaphragm on the inhale, the relaxation on the exhale, the coolness on the tip of the nose or the warmth on the exhale. Notice what's happening now. And if you're able to focus on your breath, are there feelings that surround that? Does anything come up for you? See how strong it is. See how long it lasts. And then come back to the breath. And if your mind keeps moving from thought to feeling and thought to feeling, again, no judgment, just notice strength, duration, strength, duration. And then come back. No judgment. Just bringing your curiosity to what's going on inside of you. And if all of this proves to be a little too much, that's okay. Come back to your words, breathing in on the in breath and breathing out on the out breath. Now coming back to your breath, let's go ahead and take a couple of nice, long, slow, deep in breaths with a nice, long exhale. Letting your body relax a little more and a little more with each exhale. And then allowing your breath to get softer with each inhale and naturally shorter on the exhale until we just come back to the natural rhythm of the breath. But on each exhale, scan through your body, noticing any place where you might be holding tension. And just keep your awareness on that as you breathe out on your next nice long exhale. And then notice what happens to that tension. With each out breath, just getting a little heavier and a little more relaxed. Really letting go of any muscle tension in your body. And now taking a nice full deep breath in through the nose, hold it at the top. And a nice long, slow exhale. Begin to maybe wiggle your fingers or your toes as I invite the bell to bring our meditation to an end. And whenever you're ready, just gently opening your eyes. Maybe a nice stretch. Reconnecting to this place. Deep gratitude for everyone who came today. So good to be here with all of you. And as always, a deep gratitude for Leah Downey at UR Alumni Relations for making this all possible. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you next Wednesday.